Although home to one of the first public transit systems in the country, reaching central Chicago can only be done practically by car if the commuter has to reach the city from one of the outlying areas. Though often characterized as a luxury, the car is, more accurately, a key element to being financially independent. Since employment usually involves travel, having the ability to travel means access to one's place of employment or gaining new employment. This freedom to access places that are beyond one's ability to travel on foot, or where there's no public transit infrastructure, is almost a guarantee to better economic conditions. Since most people are not in the economic position where they can afford a new car, many will have to rely on financing to get that vehicle. Others will have to make that replacement vehicle choice a used car and will also have to rely on financing. Fortunately, for the consumer in need of transportation, there are more sources for used car loans in Chicago than there are in many states in the U.S. Used car loans are much more of a promising proposition than they were prior to 2000. The traditional revenue for used cars were once seedy car lots by sleazy car merchants in the business of selling junk for top dollar. The transition to the modern certified pre-owned car was slow and began with the major car makers who saw a market for vehicles that had some miles on them, but were in good enough shape to hold enough of their value for 4 or 5 more years to make financing them worthwhile. Lenders had been reticent to finance a car with a much shorter life on the road than a new car and were unlikely to finance a used car unless there were circumstances that made it profitable. For the certified pre-owned vehicle, whose lifespan will last beyond the term of a 36-month or 48-month car loan, lenders are more receptive to making used car loans. There are close to 100 car dealerships in Chicago, and most do trade in certified pre-owned used cars. Not all used cars make it to becoming certified pre-owned used cars. The process begins with late model cars with relatively low miles on them, usually less than 75,000. For more than a decade, many car owners were routinely trading in their cars within 3 years and getting newer models. This created a growing inventory of used cars that were in better shape than the run-of-the-mill used car. In many cases, these vehicles only needed minor repairs and detailing to make them almost as roadworthy as new cars, and reliable enough to command better prices. Now, automakers use a certification process that varies from company to company, employing tests and standards that make the cars that pass the process dependable enough for the manufacturers to offer warranties on each vehicle. For people on a budget in need of a replacement vehicle, the certified pre-owned vehicle makes used car loans in Chicago a viable alternative to regular financing for both lender and borrower. The market in used cars has become a competitive venue that's almost as ferocious as that of new cars. Where there are so many car dealers, the city of Chicago has drawn many consumers who would otherwise be shopping for new cars into Marketplace, where the individual can save thousands of dollars and still leave a satisfied shopper. The quality of certified pre-owned used cars make them a reliable alternative to buying new and makes used car loans in Chicago a safer investment for the lender. There are very few car buyers that aren't hungry for a bargain, and buying used cars these days is a way to save money without the headaches that buying used cars once came with. Federal Auto Loan. Good credit, bad credit, no credit, all good.